It's Dragon Quest time! Good morning to you, and welcome back to today's JRPG weekly update. And this one is going to be probably a bit of a shorter episode because I feel like after Tokyo Game Show, all of the game developers, with all their little bits of news and all their games, went back under hiding, getting ready for all of their upcoming releases. And so what we've got is kind of the calm before the storm, and I think it's kind of like a Dragon Quest themed calm before the storm because we got a few things going on here this week that are very Dragon Quest related. Starting with something that happened right after last week's JRPG Weekly Update came out, like minutes after the release of the JRPG Weekly Update. uh, Square Enix America put out a bit of announcement that Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 are in fact going to be coming to the West. In fact, they're going to be coming on the September 27th of this year, which is the same day as Dragon Quest 11, which is cool. But, and this is a pretty big but, it is going to be coming digital only, unfortunate. So if you do want a physical version, I do recommend pre-ordering your physical copy from Play Asia. Remember, it's got that Asia region has English playable options, and it's getting it physically. So you can pre-order a physical copy from Play Asia. Link will be in the description down below. And speaking of Dragon Quest related stuff, because we've got a few things to talk about, Dragon Quest Monsters Terry's Wonderland Retro was announced for Nintendo Switch. And this is a port of the Dragon Quest Monsters game for Game Boy Color that is now coming to the Nintendo Switch eShop in Japan. And I think it's probably likely to stay there, unfortunately. The port does seem to add some quality of life improvements. I've seen some screenshots. They look really, really good, in fact, including like an overhead map, an enhanced heads-up display that shows during battles, like shows you what your levels are and HP meters, and a lot of interesting stats and stuff that you just can't see while you're actually, battling and capturing and breeding. I think that's what you do in Dragon Quest Monsters. It's very much like Pokemon. And also a bunch of what appear to be changeable borders, which look really cool. Anyways, the game already launched in Japan on the 17th for about $15, about 1,500 yen. And again, no word of a Western release. I'm kind of not really counting on it, but it would be really nice. And even if it did, it sounds like it's just a digital only release in Japan. So yeah, a lot of physical collectors such as myself who would really be interested probably wouldn't want this anyway. You know what? I think I might actually, for 15 for a digital game, that's kind of the sweet spot, really. That's not bad at all. Nippon Software of America last week launched the Trails of Cold Steel 3 demo for PlayStation 4 last week, and I think that fans of Trails of Cold Steel have really been chomping at the bit for this game forever. And you can finally now go and get a taste on PlayStation 4. And what many fans I think will be scrutinizing with this demo in particular is going to be how Nippon Software of America has handled this localization. This is really where they're going to dissect this game, I think. They've been up to this point localized by Xseed, who clearly has not been localizing this one. Some of the developers, or the translators rather, for Xseed have actually gone on to work for NISA. It's just going to be interesting to see if if this holds up or if this falls on its face because of that high standard that Xseed had set before it. Anyways, this is your chance to give it a shot and see if it's something that you're interested in. And last week in SuperDerek news, I did talk a little bit about how I'm going to be putting affiliate links in these videos to help finance some upgrades, and I wanted to thank everybody who has used them so far. Believe it or not, these things actually help out immensely, and interestingly, it actually helps with everything you buy, not just video games. In fact, in a weird twist, it actually helps more when you buy things that aren't video games for some reason. So because of how successful they've been so far, I'm going to continue to include those links, and I hope you guys continue to support the show by buying the things that you normally would buy, just using the links that I provide down below. I really appreciate it, guys. And one of the really cool side effects of having these affiliate links is I can kind of see what you guys are buying here. Not who's buying what, but I can see what is being purchased. So I sort of have access to my own sort of SuperDerek sales chart that I can refer to every once in a while and see what you guys are really interested in. And last week, you guys were definitely most interested in the Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 HD, or not HD port, but just the port to Nintendo Switch over on PlayAsia, quickly followed by the HD remaster of Ni no Kuni, which was pretty awesome. Moving on to some other news, ex-BioWare writer David Gaider, I think that's how you say his name, it's Gaider, Gaider, and Liam Esler from Beamdog are starting up a new studio. David Gaider is a writer for several WRPGs, Western RPGs, that include games like Baldur's Gate 2, Neverwinter Nights, Knights of the Old Republic, Dragon Age Origins, and Dragon Age 2. Anyways, so he's gone on to create his own studio, and they're now working on a new RPG. The studio is called Summerfall Studios, and they're working on that new game that's going to be announced at PAX Oz, or PAX Australia, here on October 11th. So if you're a fan of his work in the previous, Dragon Age games and Baldur's Gate games, definitely keep an eye out for this. And then for this week's JRPG forecast, we've got 3 games that you're going to be wanting to keep an eye on, and they're all coming out on the 27th. There's Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 for the eShop. That's the digital-only release. The physical is going to be shipping later in October, as I understand it. Dragon Quest 11S Definitive Edition, Echoes of an Elusive Age, is finally launching on Nintendo Switch, also on September 27th. And then for people who have the PS4, PC, and Xbox, Code Vein is also launching on the 27th, which is that Dark Souls-y, anime-y game. It's been delayed for a while, but it's finally coming out. And that is pretty much it for this week's JRPG Weekly Update. I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure you get subscribed, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good day, everyone. Oh yeah, I am SuperDerek, and this has all been news to me.